Welcome to Tush Twins, heard exclusively on MalcolmPresents.com, a streaming service that takes you into many worlds that
Many
we don't know
worlds.
about.
Many worlds. We're not quite sure which
Right.
worlds, because we often don't know what world we're in at the way
I
it's
know.
going, right?
Well,
So
I'm
that's
in
what
the
I'm worried
Wayback
about.
Machine.
you are in the Wayback Machine because you dressed for the part, and of course I
Oh,
didn't. So she's
no,
wearing
we can't. You got to step back further because we can't see the
a
miniskirt.
little. Yeah, we can't see the mini skirt. It's like not.
Go
back a
back,
little.
back.
There
Okay.
you go. This is the topic, baby. This is what we're going to be like talking about.
Do you realize that skirt in today's modern age is like a long skirt?
Is
It
long.
is.
Right.
I have shorter ones, but they were downstairs.
Okay, so let's get into the intro here, and then we'll get into
do the intro.
All right, the intro is move over. Move over, all you women out there. And especially the ones that have been together as comedy teams like Lucy and Ethel and Vern and Shirley. And Tina and Amy, who are going on tour doing a show now, which I'd love to see. They're going to be at the Capitol Theater here in Westchester. So guess I'm going to miss that. I think it's sold, might be sold out. Anyway, so here come the Tush Twins.
You're forgetting the modern ones, Lily and Jane.
Lily and Jane.
Yes, Lily and Jane.
Okay, we got them all. So here we are with Tales of Friendship from Brooklyn and Beyond. Moi, Maxine Faith, and two, Paula Rose, Rusty, Redhead, whatever. We got
Peace
all
out.
that's going. Peace out, baby. And we kind of bring you through our 60 plus years. We'll go back in time. We'll go forward in time. We'll talk about the present time, and because we've been through all of it, and
The past, the present, and the future.
Right. So at this point, we've dealt with the whole wide world and beyond. We, from Brighton to Coney, from New York to the burbs, and out everywhere because we've known each other so long. We're joined at the Tush. So anyway, here we are. We're approaching something tomorrow that my brother used to celebrate. Hey, Mitchie. And a lot of the world celebrating the weed. And our redhead here is today is Erev 420.
420, yes.
And
tomorrow's a big day for me.
Tomorrow's a big day for you. She's gonna do all sorts of things as she works with edibles and other things, but I don't know how much I could say, so I'm not. so I'd be quiet. And so anything you want to add about Erev 420 before we go into our topic, which has to do with
I am so blessed that it's legal now. It's not federally legal, which it should be.
Mm-hmm.
That might happen, might not, but if it depends, well, never mind.
It depends who gets into office.
Yes.
In the next go round.
What is 420? What significance is that date?
Could you give us the history, a little background?
420. Yes, that's when the hold on, I'll give it to you right now. I have it. That's funny because we did it last year.
Right. Well, we have to do it every year to just make, it's when the college kids went out at 420 or something.
It's 1971.
Okay.
Okay, the San Rafael High School students devised a secret code. That's it, the secret code to indicate to each other that they would meet later in the day to smoke cannabis. After saying 420 to each other in their school hallways, they would then meet at 420 to smoke cannabis. So it's always been 420. So every day at 420 should be you smoke
Everybody
cannabis.
should go out and listen. 4:00 is tea time. And ganja
420 is
that's one of the names
time.
for it is tea, right? They would
yes,
call
it is.
Tea. So 4:00 tea time for the real tea, and 420 for the other tea. For the green, the real
and they
green.
celebrated on 420.
Right, it's the real green tea. And I know all the college kids, took hold of it and they went out at 420, I think. And so therefore
I've been celebrating 420 for the last 30 some odd years.
with brother Mitch,
Mm-hmm.
he used to have his little blue pipe when he came to New York. I
Yes, he
actually
did.
have kept it. I kept that pipe.
Do you know 420 now, the people who started that are now in their 60s?
They're my age.
Right.
Yeah.
They're our age.
In their
and
30s.
Right, they're our age. They're in their 30s.
30s.
39, it's all
Yeah,
good.
I was a child back then, so I don't remember.
You were a baby.
Oh,
I was
okay.
in the
So what's going on for you to celebrate tomorrow?
Well, truthfully, it's just you should be celebrating 420 every day. And you don't
Well,
it's
every day
day.
should be Earth Day too,
Yes, it's the same thing. And you don't have to smoke to enjoy 420. I'm sorry, you don't have to have cannabis if you're against it, you don't want to smoke it. When you're outside at 420, say something nice, something peaceful, because that's what cannabis does for you. It makes you feel good and nice. So you should say peace.
I pulled it up just to say what happens on 420, and this is what came up.
What?
And 420, the date, and 420, the time on the date. It's cannabis culture slang for marijuana, hashish, and sheesh consumption, especially smoking around the time of 420. In military time, it's 1620. So all the
Unfortunately, I don't smoke, but I can't do it because I have a golf lesson at 5:30. So
it also refers to cannabis-oriented celebrations that take place annually on 420. So I don't know. I guess it's that 420
should
is
be
the
every
code.
day. Everyone should say something nice to somebody at 420, unless they're an a-hole, then forget it.
Well,
maybe what we should do is do the show at 420
that's right, tomorrow.
instead
Let's
of
do
right
the
now.
show
It's
at 420 on 420. Yeah.
Wait, no, well, it's 3:30 your time now. We should do it at
Yes.
420.
Yeah. Well,
Peace, man.
peace,
Next
man.
year,
I don't know.
hopefully I'll have my dispensary if everything works out, and then we're gonna have a big party on 420. We'll do the show from there live.
I wonder whether we could smoke on the air.
I can because it's
I do
legal where
not.
I am.
It's
Well,
legal
legal-
where I am anyway.
And it's
also,
legal where
but
I
don't-
am.
And
But I
so
don't
why
know.
not?
I
It's
don't know about
legal.
you. I don't know about YouTube and the
Oh,
Zoom.
I don't know.
I don't have any weed, so I don't think I can do that. But
neither do I.
Well, I know who can supply us with some.
I understand, but I don't think she can mail weed to us.
No, I can't send anything via mail
There's
because it's against the
Malcolm,
law.
there's
It's
probably a
federal.
dispensary near you,
Are you kidding? A dispensary? It's every other block.
So there you go. You can pick it up.
I mean,
And
remember
it's very expensive, though. My favorite stuff from a Jersey dispensary down in Secaucus is a brand called Tegrity.
Tegrity?
Tegrity.
Oh,
Do you know where Tegrity is from?
no.
Do you watch South Park?
No.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Okay. There's a farm called Tegrity Farms, and he sells marijuana. He cultivates and sells marijuana. It's called Tegrity Farms. So they now have a thing, medical marijuana.
Right. I think yes.
And
I
with
think
the
I remember
South
that.
Park characters on it.
Well, oh God. So this is really weird. I'm
But-
looking at this and I see something really funny. And I don't know when this happened, but it says Mike Tyson's weed brand markets ear-shaped edibles. Launches nationwide expansion. He has edibles in the shape of ears.
Well, if he's in New York, he can't. In New Jersey, he can't sell edibles right now. He can't sell them. Against the law, not till 2024.
This is in California, so
California's different.
I guess.
I follow every bit of the law, everyone.
Right.
Guys, I tell you, it's nice talking about this, but didn't we have another topic that we were going to talk about?
Yes, but it all blends in together because we're talking about the grooviness of the 60s, man.
Well, some clothes are made out of hemp.
Yay.
We're talking about fashion, and if we're kind of relating it to Earth Day, which is 422, it's funny that 420, 422, green, green, green is all right near each other. But now, I mean, for quite some time, there's been, t-shirts and slacks and stuff made out of hemp, which is very strong material, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll
it
tell you,
is.
after you use it and you're tired of it, can you just roll it up and smoke it?
Go ahead, try.
I wish you could.
I
That
tend
would
to.
be perfect for Earth Day. Yeah, you wouldn't have
I
any,
tend right. There's
old
there's
clothes.
no waste. It's a very strong material. I mean, they made
You'll
paper
get
from it for
tired
a
of it
long
first before
time.
it disintegrates.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well,
But
today we're celebrating the life and death of Mary Quant.
right. Since we were talking about fashion and what, I
And
had
she was
caught
one of
that
my favorites
because
back in the
right,
60s.
in the 60s, fashion was changing a bit. And when we were in school, we had to wear, knee-length skirts and
Mhm.
blouses, and we couldn't even wear slacks at that point.
No
We could not.
slacks unless a snow day.
Right, that was the only time. And so some changes occurred when we were going to school. And one of the
When
changes
we're
was,
seniors.
Mary Quant, she invented, or she was the designer of the mini skirt.
Mm-hmm.
And she, was very bold because she, had a vision. And I think the guys liked her vision, right, Malcolm? I'm sure
Yes,
you
very
like.
much
I'm,
so.
I'm sure you liked mini skirts. So
I wore them every day. I would leave the house because my mom let me wear the micro mini skirts. And if they weren't short enough, I'd roll them up a little more.
well, because they didn't know what we would do in school, right? I
No.
mean, you could lift them up higher, so they're
You
by your
lift,
waist. And if
you
you
lift
wear,
the waist up higher.
you
Yeah.
relieve, right, the waist gets higher, and you put like a shirt
And,
over
and,
that, and then
and
it's shorter.
I don't care about miniskirts. I like
Oh,
legs.
well, I'm sure
Well,
you
when I worked at NBC, I was a tour guide and page in 1973. And
Mhm.
my nickname, because of Jean Shalit, became Chicken Legs because I
Chicken
wore
leg.
the shortest skirt they've ever seen, dress
and
uniform that they've
and they
ever
let you
had.
do that.
That they
They
Well,
allowed.
they loved it. They let me do it, but Jean Shalit kept going, "Hey, there's chicken legs,"
why would he call you
because my
chicken?
legs were so skinny in those days. You
Because
remember?
you also white as white as white as white as
Yes,
white. So
white.
anyway, so Dame Mary was
Mhm.
credited with popularizing the miniskirts that helped define the swinging 60s.
Well,
And she
Ah,
it's
baby.
I went to Lincoln a little. Three of us went to the same high school, Lincoln High
right,
School,
Right.
right,
and the days that I went to Lincoln, which were a few years before you, the guys could
Hmm.
not wear either tight pants,
hmm
No, no
which
jeans.
or jeans. I got
right,
sent home for
really,
wearing jeans in those days they were called dungarees,
right,
Yes,
right.
yes,
Well,
and
they were.
no one over 18 wore dungarees, wore jeans. Adults didn't. Now you go outside and everybody wears dungarees.
Everyone wears jeans, and now they're wearing them with the grips in them, which my
the
mother would
grip
put patches on them, but they're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for ripped
for
jeans.
holy
The
jeans.
holes, the torn
I have holy
jeans.
jeans in my closet. I'm a fashion icon now with that. I mean, but
No,
anyway, so
mm,
back to Mary here. Twiggy, who was
yes,
a model, a famous model at that time. And
which I
she
had a
was
haircut like hers.
everybody wanted to be Twiggy.
Yep,
Everyone wanted to be as thin as Twiggy, which is why she's
yep.
called Twiggy, because she was like this.
That's where a lot of the young women were anorexic at the time.
It could be. It wouldn't
Could
surprise me
be.
because Twiggy had a big influence on young girls in the 60s, as did Mary Quant. And they revolutionized fashion. And she was brilliant, Mary Quant. She was called by the former Vogue editor Alexandra Schulman leader of fashion, but also in female entrepreneurship. So she was also a businesswoman. And
Yes,
she
she
was
was.
a visionary, Twiggy was as well, a visionary and more than just a great haircut. So it's this.
Did
She
you know
recently,
Twiggy could dance and sing?
really,
She was on Broadway with Tommy Tune.
right, right. I remember that. What I
Hmm
don't remember what show
I
it
forgot the
was.
show, but I remember her being on Broadway with Tommy Tune. I saw the show.
Right.
I think everything goes, anything goes.
Right, right. Well, Twiggy and Mary were very famous at that time,
Yes, they were. And
and
Carnaby Street was very famous.
Carnaby Street, which is only a few blocks,
It's
actually,
like
right?
2 blocks.
Right. When I was in
I've been
London, I
there.
go, we go to get a Carnaby Street.
Yeah, but
It
in
was
case
two
everyone
blocks
doesn't know,
long.
that was in London.
Yeah,
Right. Carnaby Street is in London.
been there.
And I've been there too. And I was looking forward to like something because we were used to going to the village and seeing,
Village,
you
yeah.
know, and walking blocks in New York. It's blocks and blocks. It's miles and miles of stuff.
Miles and miles of miles and miles.
When I was in, you know, looking at Carnaby Street, I went, huh, where's the rest of it? You know, I only saw two things.
Well, when you're in
But
London, if you walk miles and miles, you're in another country.
yeah, well, you can
Well,
walk around London. I mean, there's enough for you to see to walk around. But so we started wearing mini skirts, but then things, you know, changed. Guys were able to wear jeans, and there's
yes,
also
so
something
senior year.
called bell
Hot
bottoms.
pants.
No,
Oh, bell bottoms.
Bell
Yes, we
bottoms.
used to wear bell bottoms.
Right. Did
Still
you wear?
do.
And there was a store I remember on
Called the Dungaree
Nostrand,
Factory
the Dungaree
on Avenue
Factory.
T.
Did you ever go there, Malcolm? The
No, there was
Dungaree
$5.
one
Factory.
on Neptune Avenue also in Coney Island,
Right, Neptune Avenue, there was one,
and
and
like 8th to 17th Street or something.
right, and so you know there was a lot of stuff going on. Skirts,
But
bell
but
bottom, tie dye was big.
but you couldn't
Yes,
get
we used to do
Levi's
our own
there.
tie-dye.
You
We
couldn't
used to
get
do.
Levi's there. They had their own factory. They made their own
They had their
jeans.
own factory. They fitted you. You come back, go on a Saturday, you come back the following Saturday, and they were
Mhm.
$5 a pair.
Right.
It
So
took me
they
like
said,
a month to save up for it, for
they said
babysitting money.
so they said in 1967, hippie and bohemian style took over. And I'll repeat, it was hippie style for both men and women, included flowers in your hair, by the way, which you have. And it also had, as we said, tie-dye, bell bottoms,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
corduroy pants.
Yes.
Was that a
I
thing?
wore, I had bell bottom
Cordu-
corduroy pants.
Did you wear corduroy pants, Mel? That was
Towards the end. But did you
that
ever wear elephant bells?
Yes, I did.
I don't think I
My
was
first elephant
I was
bells.
too short for that.
No, my legs
Well,
have
you're
always been this
tall, but
long.
me, did not look good.
Oh,
Um,
I wore elephant bells. That was a thing. And then I wore hot pants in
mm,
1971 to 72. And my last year in high school, we were able to we could wear anything we want pants. For some
I
reason,
didn't
You
know.
wore
I
hot
always
pants?
wore hot pants.
Well, you're wacky. Anyway, they also had sheepskin vests. What was it?
Yes.
Fred something with the sheepskin.
Fred Layton.
Fred Layton. Mariners caps. Do you remember that? I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember that too much.
Yes, I do.
Headbands.
Headbands.
Sandals. Like the guys would wear like bell bottom and sandals with
Those,
tie
yep.
dye shirts. And patches with flowers. Or me, I wore a peace symbol necklace every day.
Yes.
I wish
Me
I had
too.
it because I was looking for that. It was the perfect size and it was the perfect location. And so
I wore your brother's derby for
oh
3
yeah.
years straight. He couldn't even
Mhm.
find it half the time because it was with me. And I had
Right.
put all kinds of buttons around the edge, like Frodo lives, peace,
Right.
all kinds of weird sayings all over his hat.
We had
Well,
a lot.
the period that I liked, I think this was in the late 60s, early 70s, when the Indian style came in with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Oh, right,
And
right. The
and
collars.
I used
Nehru jacket.
and I
Nehru
used to wear the Nehru
jackets.
jacket.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
We
So,
wore that also. We had beautiful Nehru jackets. My
right.
father
So,
used to wear one.
so today, I mean, let's just quickly kind of, I don't know how much time we have, but we would go downtown Brooklyn, and they had A&S and Maze and
Yeah, was Kimball's downtown?
No,
I don't remember.
Gimbel's was on
no.
33rd Street,
What was the other store? It was
32nd.
A&S.
A&S is
Mays.
Martin's.
Oh, Corvettes? Was it EJ
Martin's. No,
Martin's?
Martin's.
Martin's,
Yes.
okay.
Because
But
I
And
used
there's
to
something
anyway,
shop
called
at
Mays.
Martin's.
okay,
Mays was there, but Martin's was a big one.
we used to buy 17 magazine, and 17 magazine had fashions and makeup, and it had your favorite, musicians and stuff, and we would go to these events. They
Fashion
had
shows,
fashion shows in downtown
and
Brooklyn, and we would
usually at
get,
A&S.
yeah, or this other building, was like a public it was one of the buildings downtown. It wasn't necessarily the store. I just can't remember what building it was. But anyway, so we would go there and they would give us goodie bags, right? They would
Yes.
give us goodie bags with little makeup. And the one I was remembering, you said Yardley, right? They had a lipstick.
Yes.
It had but they
Lipstick
also
on a
had
chain.
also Bonnie Bell was
Bonnie
used.
Bell.
Bonnie
They're out
Bell
of
was
business now.
used. I know they're well, actually they were bought over and their headquarters moved, and now they're an Australian international company. But they had the lip stuff and the facial stuff, and that was like a real big deal. And then they would give you like maybe did they put like a 45 in there ever? Did they ever put music in there, or did they
No.
just put like treats or
Just
something, or like
makeup and
chocolate
magazines, and
bars,
chocolate
magazines?
bars.
Right,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it was snacks and magazines and some makeup and coupons for stuff,
Yes.
So, and we watched all the fashions, and the of course we saw the mini skirts and we saw everything coming out, and the
But I used to buy
designers.
most of my clothes, or I'd work for most of my clothes at your mom's store because she
That's
would get it in Irvington. So
right.
I would go to after school so
The
I could
clothes
work, so I could get
closet,
clothes, the clothes closet.
and what's in parentheses,
Yes.
and it was across from the Brooklyn Public Library on Brighton First.
Brighton First Street.
Brighton First Road, actually, I think it
Was it
was.
road or place?
Brighton
I lived on
I think
Second Place.
It was Road. Brighton First Road was
Okay.
before. Yeah, that's, and it goes right to the beach, and that big apartment building was there.
Yes.
And so my mom, the funniest thing was always driving into the city with my mom on a Wednesday, and she would drive. If you ever
Remember.
saw a person who was as pale as a ghost, paler than you, it was me. It was me driving in the car with my mom on the West Side Highway, which was elevated.
Yeah.
And it was cobblestone. And you got to picture Ruthie driving. Just Ruthie and driving in the same sentence. It literally, I mean, I wasn't even driving, but I had white knuckles.
My mom used to drive in for your mom a couple times.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes she used to.
But I would go with my mom. She would I wouldn't go to school. She said, "You coming with me?" And I would go pick up the samples, and when we get back to Brooklyn, again, I was a color no one should be: gray, white, green.
I've gone a few times with you.
There was a line. There was a line
out the door,
waiting for my mom to get the best pick of the samples of Irvington Place, because they had really good stuff. And
they had beautiful stuff.
It was quality stuff, and it was all, all the fashion stuff that was it.
Max, I want to ask you a trivial question. I don't know whether you know it or not. There was a store, men's store, that was very hip on Lexington Avenue across the street, Bloomingdale's. It was called The Different Drummer.
Oh, I think I heard of that. Yeah. I think maybe Phil or Mitch went there sometime.
Yeah, they did. You know why? You know who owned it?
Who?
A guy named Eddie Rapkin.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
Eddie Rapkin was in the Tokens.
He was in the Tokens
for a brief period of time. So Eddie Rapkin, right? That's why they went.
Oh my God!
Different drummer. I remember that.
He sold it for millions of dollars. And one time I spoke to Eddie, who was in totally a different career, singing and everything. And I said, why did you open up a clothes store? He looked at me and said, to meet women.
That's right. Well,
that was the best way.
There was the clothes store. There was a clothing store in Brighton called Diamonds, and that was
Diamonds.
That was Neil Diamond's parents.
Was a what they called a It was. They had dry goods stores.
It was a general kind of store also.
Yeah, it was a general dry goods store. It's called Diamonds Dry Goods Store.
Right.
And they sold Wrangler, Wrangler jeans, Wrangler jackets.
Wrangler was big.
Are they still making Wranglers?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I had a Wrangler jacket. So did you. We
Yes,
had to
I
have a
did.
dungaree jacket. That I mean, we
Yes.
were like the
I still have
Bobbsey.
dungaree
We were
jackets.
the Bobbsey twins, literally. I
No,
mean, I had to have.
actually, my outfit when I went to college, I had a fatigue jacket,
Mhm.
Ugh.
jeans, combat boots,
Combat boots. Wow.
yeah, and a work shirt.
Well, that was before the what boots
That
are
was in
they?
the mid '60s, or it's mid to late '60s.
They're still wearing things like that, right? They're
And,
still
and, and
wearing
as
the
a matter of
combat.
fact, a brief story. I had to report a stolen identity to the police one time,
Oh,
and I walked
Oh,
into the
remember
precinct,
this.
and I walked into the precinct on 100th Street and Broadway,
Right.
and
okay.
I'm dressed like that. In fact, I had a long beard, long hair. I walked with my fatigue jacket and jeans, and I walk in. The desk sergeant looks at me and says, "Second floor." Don't know what the hell. I didn't ask him anything. He said, "Second floor." I go to the second floor. There's a police officer going down the stairs. He said, "Room 205."
Oh,
I go to room 205. You know what it is?
what?
Plain clothes. They thought I was a plain
A
clothes
plainclothes
detective.
cop.
Oh no. Well, they used to have in high school. Do you remember you were talking about those sheepskin vests?
Mm-hmm.
They would have these guys as undercover. They would fit in to see if they could fit in as students. We all knew they were undercover.
Well, you know who went undercover? Phil.
Who?
Phil.
Oh,
Phil worked with the 60. It's a 60, right?
Yeah,
And
60th. Yeah.
right, he was auxiliary, but he
oh, I
knew all the
remember that.
detectives, and they wanted him to go in, and he went on drug bus. No one knew this. My parents would have gone insane. And
I
I don't know
wouldn't
how they
blame them.
even let him do that. But he did. He would go on bus because he looked like he was 12 when he was 20 something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he just was a small guy, Phil.
Small guy, but also you looked young for a very long time. And
Yes, he
still
did.
did. Even older, he looked younger than he was. But anyway, so yeah, that's crazy stuff. So I mean, I want to just get in that it's tomorrow's 420, and then we're coming up on Earth Day, and it should be Earth Day every day. But maybe some friendly ways for fashion to shop, things you can do, go to a thrift store because they have good stuff, and you might
Yes,
find
they do.
something you might find something cool, and you're also using stuff that's been
Recycling.
reused. You could
Or
make
my
sure.
other thing is for people to please donate used suits and clothing for
Mhm.
people looking for jobs because they really, really need that.
Right, and
So,
you can go to you can even go to you can find out, go Google it, and go, of course there's Goodwill
The
and
resale
Salvation
shops have
Army.
some
Yeah,
good clothes, and
yeah, if you go there, you can find, and it's a good way to be, a good
and the trick is
eco-conscious citizen,
go to the
so
stores in good neighborhoods,
right.
because the
But
people in the good neighborhoods have turned in their clothes. But you know what I hate nowadays? I mean,
what's that?
I still have my traditional uh, double-breasted suit,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with the
used to
pleated
like that,
pants,
right.
baggy. I feel like
That's nice.
I feel like Adolf Manju. I don't know if you remember that name.
Yes, I
I
do.
did.
He was always considered, the best dressed actor in the
Yes,
Right.
man.
30s and
Yes.
40s.
Right.
But
Well,
now you
no,
see on
no,
TV all these suits
they're
that look
coming
like they're two
back.
sizes too tight.
No. I've been seeing more actors doing, because I'm up watching late night, because that's who I am, and they're wearing some of them double-breasted, really
Or
nice,
are they?
different.
I think it looks
Yes,
nice. I'm
I think
sorry. I think it looks
double-breasted
beautiful.
I think anything goes, really. I mean, you can wear whatever you want. Yeah, they were getting for a while like very straight, very tight pants, and
And
very
I
and
don't
tight
like that.
and tight like jackets,
The
tight,
jackets are always pulled in
yeah,
the front.
right. And
And I
it
think it's
doesn't
tacky.
doesn't lay right, You gotta men have to have at least one really good suit. I know they don't wear suits much because people are like in the office, not in the office. And even if they're wearing, it at the office, it's more casual, a collared shirt, a pair of
Yeah,
khakis. They don't dress really for work. I
yeah,
mean,
back in the 80s, when I was selling radio time,
Yeah.
that was my outfit. I had, my double-breasted jacket, double-breasted suit, cordovan shoes or wingtips,
I
a
used to
blue
wear
shirt,
shoulder
and a
pads.
red tie. Yeah, big shoulders.
That was
But
a
I
big
used-
thing.
I hated
was
them.
that?
I used to
Was
take
that
them out of my
80's?
jackets.
Was that
Yeah,
the
the
80's?
80s.
Yeah,
Dynasty, Dallas.
this, and then they had those funky pants. Also, it was like I don't know.
Well, truthfully, back when I was performing, I was wearing those tight pants. Now they're called leggings,
right.
and I'm wearing them again. I wore them back then
Yeah,
performing at Reno
they're big
Swingers,
now.
and I'm
Now
wearing it again.
they're selling like yoga pants or jogging yoga pants
Oh,
for
you could go around with anything
it's
nowadays.
$98 for a pair of those.
Oh my God,
What?
they're 150
Seriously.
at Lululemon.
Yeah, I'm like, who is buying this? Really,
The kids.
I have. There's a company called Pact, P-A-C-T, and they sell it. It's definitely a better priced, but it's all cotton, organic cotton, and they're a fair trade company. And so to me, they shine out with respect to how they do
Anyway,
business.
guys, I love our conversation, but our time is up.
All right, well,
Peace out, man.
happy
Groovy.
420.
Happy
Yeah.
Happy
420.
Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Think in your brain how you can be active to help Mother Earth stay green. And if you're gonna
No
be
one
green,
fools
and
Mother
tomorrow,
Nature.
no one can fool Mother Nature because she's pissed off right now at us.
Oh, definitely.
And we
It's,
gotta treat her right.
just take a look at the weather reports.
Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday, my friend
It-
called me from upstate, and it was snowing.
Snowing.
And 3 days, and last week it was 90 degrees.
Anyway, guys, that's your other show. Many Shades.
Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out.
See you next week, or maybe not.
Peace out. Right.
Peace out.
I think next week is an off week. Well, you can always go to malcolmpresents.com and go to the Tush Twins, and you could see all our shows, right, Malcolm?
All our craziness throughout the
Right.
years.
So
Bye.
the redhead's on a break, so we're
Shalom.
off. Ciao, ciao.
Send my
Ming
regards to
Ming.
Send my regards to North Carolina.
Yeah, North
Bye.
Kakalaki.
Shalom.
Shalom.